Welcome to my channel, Old Coins History 333. In this video, I tell you about the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny, which are most valuable and rare. If you're interested, please subscribe my channel. Thanks. Top 1. The 1975 Lincoln 1-cent penny is a fascinating coin, and its value goes far beyond what you might expect from a simple penny. While most people see pennies as small and inconsequential, certain years and variations hold a surprising amount of worth. Let's dive into the story behind the 1975 Lincoln penny and why it could be worth thousands of dollars. To start, let's talk about the Lincoln penny itself. First minted in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, the penny has evolved over time, with various designs and subtle changes in minting processes. But not every year and not every penny is created equal. The 1975 penny, in particular, has become one of those standout coins that piques the interest of collectors. In most cases, pennies from the 1970s are relatively low in value, maybe a few cents more than face value depending on the coin's condition. However, what makes the 1975 penny stand out is its specific type. For most of these pennies, you'll see them in circulation for just a few cents, but there is a rare variety that has caused quite a stir in the numismatic world. The 1975 penny with a particular error or unique characteristic has been known to fetch incredible amounts at auction. What's so special about this particular penny? The key factor is the variety of the 1975 coin known as the double die, or the 1975 double die penny. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, creating a doubling effect on the design elements, including Lincoln's bust, the date, and other features on the coin. This kind of error is rare, and when collectors find one in good condition, they're eager to add it to their collection. Now, for most collectors, a well-preserved 1975 penny with this type of error is highly sought after, and finding one can lead to a windfall. Since these varieties are relatively uncommon, their value can go up significantly depending on the coin's condition and the demand from collectors. You might be wondering, how much could a 1975 penny really be worth? To be clear, the majority of 1975 pennies in circulation are worth only a few cents, if that. But when you find a 1975 penny with a double die error or a similar rare variation, things can get interesting. In fact, a 1975 Lincoln 1-cent penny with the right kind of error has been sold for amounts reaching as high as $85,000 in words. Yes, $85,000. It's incredible to think that such a small and humble coin could hold such a massive value. But that's the beauty of coin collecting. The hunt for rare and unique coins can yield surprising and substantial rewards. If you happen to come across a 1975 penny that looks a little different from the others, it's worth taking a closer look to see if it might be one of these rare specimens. You just might have a small fortune in your hands. So, before you toss any old pennies in your jar or throw them into circulation, remember that some coins, like the 1975 Lincoln penny, can hold much more value than their face value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just a curious beginner, it's always worth keeping an eye out for these hidden gems in your pocket change. You never know what you might find. Top 2. The 1980 Lincoln 1-cent penny might seem like just another coin you'd find in your pocket change, but believe it or not, this seemingly ordinary penny could be worth a lot more than you think. For most of us, pennies don't seem to carry much value, but there's more to this coin than meets the eye, and certain rare variations can turn it into a collector's dream. So, if you've ever wondered whether your 1980 penny might be worth something special, keep watching, because today we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1980 Lincoln penny. First, let's take a quick look at the background of the Lincoln penny. This coin has been in circulation since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. Since then, it's become a mainstay of American currency, evolving in design and features over the years. The 1980 penny, in particular, holds a unique place in this history, especially for those who collect rare or misstruck coins. Most 1980 pennies are pretty standard, often worth only a cent or two above their face value. But what makes some of these pennies extremely valuable are the rare varieties or errors that occur during the minting process. If you happen to have a 1980 penny that has a mistake in its production, you could be holding on to something much more valuable than just loose change. One of the key factors that make the 1980 Lincoln penny stand out in the world of coin collecting is a specific error called the 1980 double die penny. This error occurs when the die used to strike the coin becomes misaligned, leading to the doubling of certain elements in the design, such as the date or the lettering on the coin. The 1980 double die penny, in particular, has garnered significant attention from numismatists and collectors because of its rarity. A coin with this error has a distinct, almost blurry appearance, where you can see a clear doubling of the design. But it's not just the presence of a doubling that makes a 1980 penny valuable. The condition of the coin is also crucial. For example, a 1980 penny in poor condition might not fetch much more than face value. However, a well-preserved double die penny, especially one with a strong, clear doubling and minimal wear, can be worth an impressive amount. The more pristine the coin, the higher the price it can demand at auctions or from collectors to SO. How much are these rare 1980 double die pennies worth? Well, prices can vary based on the quality of the coin, but it's not uncommon for one of these unique pennies to be sold for as much as $76,000 in words. That's right, $76,000. It's hard to believe that something as simple as a penny could be worth such a large sum. But that's the magic of coin collecting. If you come across a 1980 penny that shows signs of doubling, it might be worth getting it appraised or even sending it to a professional grader for further evaluation. Now, you might be asking yourself, how do I know if my 1980 penny is one of these valuable double die coins? The key is to look closely at the details. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to examine the date and lettering on the coin. If you spot any kind of doubling, especially if it's clear and noticeable, then you may have found something truly special. The doubling often appears on the numbers in the year 1980, but it can also show up in the word liberty and in God we trust on the obverse side of the coin. While the majority of 1980 pennies won't have this error, it's still a good idea to keep an eye out for any pennies from this year that seem unusual or have strange features. Sometimes, the most valuable coins are those that people overlook or dismiss as just ordinary currency. So, before you throw that 1980 penny back into your change jar, give it a second look. You might be holding onto something much more valuable than you think. Coin collecting is all about the thrill of the hunt and the joy of discovering something rare and valuable. The 1980 Lincoln penny, with its potential for error varieties, proves that even the most seemingly insignificant coins can hold hidden treasures. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just getting started, it's always worth checking your spare change. You never know when you might find the next big-ticket coin at SO. Next time you come across a 1980 penny, take a moment to inspect it. With a little luck and some sharp eyes, you could be holding a coin worth an incredible $76,000 in words. Happy collecting! Top 3. When we think of a penny, we usually don't think of it as something that could be worth a fortune. After all, it's just a small copper coin, and with inflation, its value might feel like a joke. But when it comes to coin collecting, some pennies, like the 1984 Lincoln 1-cent penny, have proved to be much more valuable than anyone could have imagined. Today, we're going to dive into why the 1984 penny could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent and how you might just have a rare treasure sitting in your pocket change. The Lincoln penny has been around for over a century, and through the years, there have been several variations, errors, and special editions that have made some years particularly sought after by collectors. The 1984 penny, though seemingly unremarkable at first glance, is one of those years that holds the potential for a significant payday, depending on the specific coin you find. Like most coins, the 1984 Lincoln penny was minted in huge quantities. The regular 1984 pennies are mostly worth their face value, just 1 cent. However, there is something very unique about certain 1984 pennies that makes them stand out in the numismatic world. The key to the value of the 1984 penny lies in a particular error, the double die variety. This is where things get interesting. A double die error happens when the die that stamps the design onto the penny shifts or misaligns during the minting process. This creates a subtle doubling effect in the coin's design. In the case of the 1984 Lincoln penny, this error typically affects the date or the lettering on the coin, such as the word liberty or the phrase "In God We Trust." When this doubling is visible and pronounced, it transforms a simple penny into a highly prized collectible. But not all double die pennies are created equal. The rarity and value of the coin depend on how clear and prominent the doubling is. A well-defined doubling that's easy to spot is what catches the eye of collectors and makes these coins so valuable. If you have a 1984 Lincoln penny with clear, noticeable doubling, you could be holding a coin worth far more than its face value. Now, you might be wondering, how much could a 1984 penny with this error really be worth? The answer might surprise you. While many people think of pennies as being nearly worthless, a 1984 Lincoln penny with the double die error has been known to sell for as much as $68,000 in words. Yes, $68,000. It's astonishing to think that a coin worth just 1 cent could be sold for such a high price. But it's true. These rare error coins can command incredible prices at auctions, especially when they're in excellent condition. You may be thinking, how can I tell if my 1984 penny is one of these rare double die coins? Well, spotting a double die penny takes a bit of attention to detail. To check for the error, you'll want to closely examine the date and the lettering on both the obverse and reverse sides of the coin. A magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe can be helpful for this. If you see any doubling or a blurry, duplicated effect in the numbers or words, then you might have just discovered a rare coin. The doubling can appear as a shadowy second image of the design, and sometimes the error is so clear that it jumps out at you right away. It's important to note that not every 1984 penny will have this error. In fact, the double die variety is relatively rare, which is why finding one is so exciting for collectors. Even if you don't find a double die error, there are still other factors that can make a penny more valuable, such as its overall condition. Coins that are well preserved, with little wear and tear, tend to fetch higher prices even if they don't have an error. So, if you have a 1984 penny that looks nearly brand new, it could still be worth more than just 1 cent. Coin collecting is all about the thrill of discovery. And with pennies like the 1984 Lincoln 1 cent coin, sometimes the most unassuming pieces of currency can end up being worth a small fortune. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, it's worth taking the time to carefully check your spare change for rare and valuable coins. The 1984 Lincoln penny serves as a reminder that there's more to coin collecting than simply searching for rare gold coins or historical artifacts. Sometimes, the treasure you're looking for can be found in the most unexpected places, like a 1984 penny that's been sitting in your drawer for years. So, before you dismiss that 1984 penny in your pocket, take a moment to examine it closely. You might just discover a rare double die error, and if you do, you could be holding onto something worth a staggering $68,000 in words. Happy hunting, and remember, you never know when you'll stumble upon a rare coin worth much more than its face value. Top 4. When most people come across a 1989 Lincoln 1 cent penny, they probably think of it as just another piece of pocket change. After all, it's been more than 30 years since that coin was minted, and it's easy to dismiss it as old currency that doesn't hold much value. But if you're a coin collector or just someone with an eye for the extraordinary, you might be surprised to learn that the 1989 penny could actually be worth a lot more than you expect. Some rare versions of this penny can fetch thousands, even tens of thousands, of dollars. Today, we're going to explore why a 1989 Lincoln penny could be your ticket to a surprisingly valuable find. The Lincoln penny has been part of American currency since 1909. Over the decades, the design has evolved, and certain years have become more valuable because of minting errors or unique variations. The 1989 penny, however, is an interesting case. While most of these pennies are worth, at best, just 1 cent, some 1989 pennies contain rare errors or unique characteristics that make them highly collectible and valuable. One of the most sought-after varieties of the 1989 Lincoln penny is the wide AM error. This error occurs when the spacing between the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse side of the coin is wider than usual. Typically, the mint uses a die to stamp the design onto the coin, and the spacing between letters is fairly consistent. But in certain cases, the die used to strike the 1989 penny created an error, leaving more space between these two letters. This error is particularly significant for collectors because it's rare and can make a huge difference in the value of the coin. The wide AM error is the result of a die change that took place in 1990, where the mint introduced a new die with a tighter A and M spacing. As a result, the 1989 penny struck with the earlier die, which left the wide spacing, became a rare anomaly. Finding one of these coins in good condition is a major find for any serious collector. However, it's not always easy to spot the error. To identify a wide AM penny, you'll need to carefully examine the reverse side of the coin, where the word America is located. The key is to look for the spacing between the A and the M. It should be noticeably wider than usual. The next step is to consider the condition of the coin. Like any collectible, the value of a 1989 wide AM penny is heavily influenced by its condition. A penny in pristine, uncirculated condition will be worth significantly more than one that's worn or damaged. Coins that have been kept in excellent shape, without scratches, discoloration, or other forms of wear, are the ones that truly hold their value. A well-preserved 1989 wide AM penny can be an exciting find, but you'll want to make sure it's properly graded and authenticated before you get too excited. Now, you might be wondering just how much a 1989 Lincoln 1-cent penny could actually be worth if it contains the wide AM error. It's not uncommon for a coin like this to sell for thousands of dollars at auction. The more pristine the condition, the higher the price can climb. If you find a high-quality wide AM penny in excellent condition, it could be worth as much as $55,000 in words. Yes, $55,000. That's an incredible amount of money for a penny that you might find in your pocket change. It's important to note that not every 1989 penny will have this wide AM error, and even if you do find one, its value will depend on a variety of factors, such as the overall condition of the coin, how clear the error is, and how much demand there is from collectors. But even without the wide AM error, certain 1989 pennies that are in uncirculated or near-perfect condition can still be worth more than face value. Coin collecting is about more than just finding rare coins. It's about understanding the history behind each piece and appreciating the craftsmanship involved in their creation. The 1989 Lincoln penny, for example, tells the story of how even small changes in minting processes can lead to rare and valuable finds. Whether it's an error like the wide AM variety or simply a well-preserved coin from a particular year, there's always something fascinating about exploring the world of coin collecting. The next time you come across a 1989 penny, take a moment to look closely. Examine the reverse side for that wide spacing between the A and the M. Use a magnifying glass if you need to, and check the coin's condition carefully. You never know. It could be worth a small fortune. And remember, a 1989 Lincoln penny with the wide AM error has been known to fetch as much as $55,000 in words. Happy hunting, and keep your eyes peeled for those hidden treasures that might just be waiting in your pocket change. Top 5. When most of us think about a penny, it's usually in the context of loose change, or that small amount we throw into a jar at the end of the day. But did you know that some modern pennies, particularly those from 2007, could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent? It's true, there are rare coins that can skyrocket in value due to specific minting errors or unique characteristics. Today, we're going to dive into the fascinating world of the 2007 Lincoln 1-cent penny and discover just how much this seemingly ordinary coin could actually be worth. The 2007 Lincoln penny is part of the Lincoln cent series that has been around since 1909, and while it doesn't have the same historical significance as some of the earlier editions, it still holds interest for collectors. But here's the twist. What makes the 2007 penny stand out isn't just its age or design, but an error variety that has made this coin incredibly valuable in certain circumstances. Specifically, we're talking about the rare 2007 wide AM penny, which has caught the attention of numismatists and coin collectors alike. If you're not familiar with what a wide AM error is, let me explain. In normal, properly struck pennies, the spacing between the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse side of the coin is fairly tight. However, during the minting process of certain 2007 pennies, a specific die was used that caused the A and M to be spaced further apart than usual. This creates the wide AM error, which makes these coins especially rare and valuable for collectors. Finding a 2007 penny with this particular error is no easy feat, but when you do, it can be worth far more than just a cent now. You might be asking yourself how you can tell if your 2007 penny is one of these rare wide AM coins. Well, the key is to carefully examine the reverse side of the penny. Look closely at the word America and focus on the spacing between the A and the M. On most 2007 pennies, these letters are quite close together. But on the wide AM error coins, there's a noticeable gap between the two. It's subtle, but with a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe, you'll be able to spot the difference. Another factor to consider when determining the value of a 2007 wide AM penny is the condition of the coin. Like any collectible, the better the condition, the higher the price. If the penny is in pristine condition with minimal wear, it will fetch a much higher value than one that's heavily scratched or worn out. Coin collectors and investors are always looking for coins that are in excellent shape, as these are the ones that tend to appreciate in value over time. So, if you find a 2007 wide AM penny that looks almost as good as new, you've found a real treasure. But how much could a 2007 Lincoln 1-cent penny actually be worth if it has the wide AM error and is in great condition? You might be surprised to learn that a 2007 wide AM penny has sold for as much as $24,000 in words. Yes, $24,000. This is an incredible amount of money for a coin that most people would overlook, but that's the magic of coin collecting. What seems like a small, insignificant piece of currency can turn out to be worth a small fortune, especially when it contains an error or unique feature, of course. Not every 2007 penny will have the wide AM error, and even if you find one, the value will depend on factors like the coin's condition, the prominence of the error, and demand from collectors. But the fact remains that a 2007 wide AM penny, especially one that's well preserved, could be a valuable addition to any collection. Coin collecting is a hobby that requires patience, attention to detail, and a bit of luck. You never know when a seemingly ordinary coin might turn into a rare and valuable find. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who enjoys scouring your pocket change, it's always a good idea to take a closer look at your pennies, especially those from years like 2007, when minting errors like the wide AM variety can turn a simple coin into a treasure. Next time you come across a 2007 penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a moment to inspect the reverse side and look for that wide spacing between the A and M. It might just be the key to uncovering a valuable coin that could be worth as much as $24,000 in words. Happy hunting, and remember to always keep your eyes peeled for those hidden gems in your spare change.